third game almost exactly the same as the second game. Again, we're putting things into groups and some of the same kinds of rules. At least one member of each group, and then there are exactly, rule one, exactly 2 members of market, and just that visual, at least at the beginning, it will help, solidify that in my mind. S and T have to be together, V and Y cannot. And then rule 4, again with a conditional rule, if either Y or Z is in P, then they're both there. So if they're not both there, then ain't neither one of them there. They are there together, or they are not there at all. That's their deal. Let's answer some questions. We don't get that global account, but question 13 does same kind of thing. I mean, if we got a complete assignment of the ones in pricing, look at how our rules play into this. Answer choice B violates rule 4 because they are, we just said, both there together or ain't neither one of them there. You can't have ye by herself in pricing. Answer choice C has too many people in pricing. If you had 4 people in pricing and then 2 in markets, who would leave you for labor? Yeah, I can say that without stuttering, or I can stutter if I want to. My video. Answer choice D violates rule 2. S and T have to be together. You can't split them up like that. And answer choice E violates rule 3. V and Y cannot be together. And so that, just an assessment of the rules, leaves us with only answer choice A. R, Y, and Z might be our complete list. All right, what about question 14? Look, just which of the following cannot? This is not the most efficient way to deal with it, because I think telling you the most efficient way of dealing with it is really worth something. I think that's valuable information. But here's a way you can deal with it. Like, what if you just plugged in the answer choices and see what happens? Like this. What cannot be the complete assignment in labor? R and V. Oh, I left out visually that there's at least 1 in each group. Could you have R and V as your complete list in labor? Well, Y and Z could go together in pricing, and S and T could go together in markets, and yeah, that'll work. Okay, so that's not our answer. How about answer choice B, R and Z? Complete list. All right, so that means that Y is not in pricing, and Y cannot be with V. And now S and T cannot both be here. We only get 1 more space here. So S and T will have to be here. But oh no, who goes in that space? There's nobody to fill it. This is impossible. So it's our answer. And then we can do exactly the same thing with question 15. What could be true? I don't know. R and V are both in markets. Again, not the most efficient means of doing things, but it's gonna work. R and V in markets. Well, we could do Y and Z in pricing, and we could do S and T in labor, and yeah, I mean, that works. And just for contrast, we know A has to be the answer. It worked. But let's look at what it's like when it doesn't work. R and T are in markets. I'm just picking the next one randomly. R and T in markets. Well, they can't be the only one in markets. You'd have to have S also, and that violates rule 1. That won't work. And for every other answer choice there, that's going to be the same story. You can't make it work and also follow the rules. Question 16. If Vogel's in the same course as Zane, what cannot be true? If V and Z are together. All right, if V and Z are together, then they are not together here because we don't get V and Z together with Y, right? So V and Z together here or else here. Either way, Y is not in P and not with V. And then you have S and T and R. And we could do one of them here and the other one here, or vice versa, right? We could have S and T with R over here, or we could have STY and R over here. And in the second option, we've got one more here, and that will have to be R, because we don't split up S and T, and they'll have to be there. So what cannot be true? R is in labor, sure she could be. Smith is in labor, sure he could be. Taj is in markets. No, not here, not here. Taj is not in markets, that's our answer. And that leaves us only question 17, if there's nobody else in the same course as Ramos. Well, if Ramos is all by herself, then she is all by herself here, or else all by herself here. Now, we have to think about these other players and these other rules. Ramos didn't apply in any of them, but look at this big rule 3. V and Y can't be together. That means we have to split them up. One of them will be here, and the other one will be there. And in this case, we only get one more person here, so that's not S and T. It'll have to be S and T over here. And then that means this is Z. And if Z is here, Y cannot be over there. So Y is over here. Yeah? All right. Here, same thing. V and Y have to be split up. Only one other person there. So that's not S and T. This will be S and T. And that will be Z. What must be true? Taj is labor, Vogel, Zane is in markets. Yes, Zane is in markets no matter which way we put R. And that finishes off this game.